welcome to the Saturday night broadcast of the NPL Men's New South Wales competition. We're at the Illingdon Sports Centre for St George FC versus St George City. Good? Okay. It's Derby Day at the Illingdon Sports Centre. Thanks for joining us here on the Football New South Wales YouTube page. The St George Derby, St George FC versus St George City, two teams recently promoted to the top tier of men's football in New South Wales. And when these two meet, it always seems to be a dramatic occasion. Eric Subiano here on the mic from Rockdale. I've been looking forward to this one all week. There's nothing quite like a derby. It's a time, although teams of course want to finish as high as they can in the league table for one night, all of that is set aside because one of the most important things in football, no matter the level, is to beat your neighbours. For St George FC, they're trying to get back to winning ways. It's been a tough week for all the NPL men's teams this year, with the midweek round happening a few days ago. St George FC were actually on this ground for their last two games, losing both to Sydney FC Academy and Rockdale Illingdon, but now it's a chance for the Saints, as they are affectionately known, to get back to winning ways. Now that's the same task facing St George City. They also have had a tough week, losing to Wollongong Wolves and RPL Leichhardt, but who knows, those recent results might just make these two teams a little bit more desperate and hungry for the 3 points. All of this sets up to what should be a great occasion and another great game of NPL men's New South Wales football. Of course, as you might expect, two St George teams have similar colours, so it's St George FC in the predominantly red jerseys with the white shorts and the green socks, while it is St George City in the all-white kit. And for ease of reference for myself throughout the rest of this game, I will refer to St George FC as Saints and to St George City as just City. That should make it easier. Now, the referee Sam Kelly doing the last-minute checks. The assistant nearest to us is Liam Smith. The assistant on the grandstand side is Cameron Wright. And tonight's fourth official is the Northern Beaches' own Thomas Dale. I'll take you through the lineups at an appropriate break and play, but there's Sam Kelly's whistle. Away we go. The second St George Derby for 2024. There was high drama in the first meeting between these two teams, or at least the first meeting in 2024. That was back in round 5 at Penshurst Park. St George City leading by a goal to nil until the dying stages. But then the Saints rescued a point thanks to a 93rd minute equaliser from Aidan O'Shea. By the way, going back to that round 5 game, it was a very good job done on the mic that Sunday evening by Dominic Crenidi. Dominic, a much valued member of our media team. It is City with, I think, the first entry into the final third. On the furthest side to us. And the cross, attempted to be whipped in, doesn't go anywhere. Now, I'll go through the lineups. Firstly, for the Saints, in goal, number 20, Daniel Axford in the pink jersey. And number 2, Kayo De Godoy. Number 3, the Saints captain, Troy Danaskos. Number 5, Nicholas Caligeru. Number 6, Patrick O'Shea. Number 8, Connor Quilligan. Number 9, Peter Grozos. Number 10, Harry Jones. Number 18, Mark Rodic. Number 23, Evangelosaurus, as that cross from Connor Quilligan swings out of play. And number 27, Jaden Cito rounds out the Saints lineup. Now for City, in goal for them, number 1, Jack Kenny. Then number 2, Cameron Fong. Number 4, Solomon John Monahan Vaika. Number 6, the City captain, Tarek Erchan. Number 8, Dominic Cox. Number 11, Costa Petratos. Number 14, Paolo Mitri. Number 25, Brody Clarkson. Number 30, Presley Ortiz. Number 33, Lewis Curry. And number 99, Matthew Karamalevsky. Two coaches. The Saints are coached by Jane Talchevsky, and City are coached by Mirko Ural. So I'll go through the 2 sets of substitutes later on in the game. But first, room to turn for Harry Jones. He goes out wide to Caligeru. And Caligeru, I think, didn't get the run that he was wanting with that pass. So now, I've called both of these teams relatively recently. In fact, I called the Saints last weekend, their game against the Sydney FC Academy. Potentially, one or both of these coaches showing some tactical flexibility, because perhaps we might be seeing different formations for both of these teams than what I saw the last time I called them in action. I'll try and figure that out for you. It's Caligeru, right in front of the technical area. Short throw to Grozos. Caligeru, that's broken up by Clarkson. And now it's Ortiz looking to take it the other way. Ortiz, stopped momentarily by Rodic. Now Dominic Cox. And Cox is fouled, so that's the first set piece of the game, and it's in a very decent position for St George City. By the way, the 2 sets of substitutes for the Saints. The backup keeper is Samuel Smith. The others are Thomas Brown, Alexander Malfara, Aidan O'Shea, Anthony Morabito, and Jesse Spang. While City substitutes, the backup keeper is Ryan Reed. The others are Nathan Roberts, Jason Romero, Jesse Forti, Andrew Vlahadamis, and Noah Ovens. And it's Clarkson, who does have a very nice dead ball delivery, by the way, facing up to this 2-player wall. And 1, 2, 3, 5 targets in the box. And a couple more of his teammates on the edge of the area. Decent ball, and it takes, I think, a flick off a Saints' head. Now, shot coming up from Karamalevsky, and he scored a wonderful goal. And Matthew Karamalevsky has got the derby off to a brilliant start for St George City. He put his foot absolutely through that. It's found the top corner. Daniel Axford had no chance. And with less than 4 minutes on the clock, St George FC 0, St George City 1. What a strike. It sat up for him so nicely as it rolled outside the box, and the number 99 has scored a goal to remember. It's only his 2nd goal of the season, but he does have a reputation for powerful shooting from the edge of the box. Matthew Karamalevsky has delivered, and the derby is certainly off to a spectacular beginning. Caligeru, longer ball. I think Quilligan is the target. White jerseys outnumber Connor Quilligan. Then Clarkson wanted to play it forward, but decided the safest option was backwards to Kenny. And Kenny, the low ball, Cito getting to it ahead of Costa Petratos. Now it's Souris trying to stop this attack. Costa Petratos with the ball. Now Karamalevsky. We've got to take our breath after that wonderful opening goal. goal worthy, embracing any contest. Caligeru, another ball forward. Lewis Curry breaks it up. Again by the Saints. It is Urchan, the towering header, but and so Saints and Souris with the ball spreading it left to Danaskos. Danaskos now. Patrick O'Shea and Presley Ortiz might have picked the pocket here. He has. That's well done from Ortiz. Riding a challenge, possibly has overran that just a little bit. Souris again. Souris, I think, came to prominence earlier this season. It was St George FC's first men's game at the new facility at Barton Park, on the on the site, sorry, of the old St George Stadium. He scored a very late winner to give the Saints a fairy tale return to the site that they played home games at for so long. That goal was all over the socials, and in case you're wondering why I'd gone a little bit quiet after that goal, I was actually texting our boss, the Greek god of football New South Wales, Mark Stavroulakis, just to let him know that Matthew Karamilevsky goal, well worth a place on the NPL New South Wales Facebook, Twitter and Instagram pages. Who knows, with any luck, that might even be up before the end of this game. As that pass runs out of play, Mark Stavroulakis doing tireless work as always. That's why they call him the Golden Greek. And he will be putting up the match reports for this game and the other 4 NPL Men's New South Wales games that have been played or are being played today. They'll be up very soon after full time in those games. Grozos forced backwards. Curry applying the pressure. Now Rodic. And Rodic decides to go up the line towards Quilligan. Good header from Monahan Vaika. It was a 5 p.m. kickoff at Belmore Sports Grounds. And apparently, I'm told there was some late drama, courtesy of long-time Football New South Wales reporter Justin Davies. That's what the live score app says. Now, these live score apps aren't 100% accurate, at least with the identities of goal scorers. That's kept in near the grandstand and near the club here at Inland Sports Centre, where there's actually there's actually going to be quite a large party in progress this evening at the club opposite to us. But yeah, at the 5 p.m. kickoff in NPL Men's, 1-1 draw between Olympic and Sutherland. And Sutherland scoring a very late equaliser, a 96-minute equaliser from the spot to draw 1-1, courtesy of former Sydney Olympic player Mitchell Stamatelis. The neutrals would love to see drama like that in this game. As here's Jones. Souris. Can't find Quilligan, who appears to be playing the role he was playing last weekend on this ground as the Saints centre forward. Karamilevsky curling one towards Cox. That's an interesting flick. And City shouts for a penalty. Sam Kelly not interested. Fong towards Monahan Vaika. He goes short. Back to Fong. And Fong goes all the way back to Jack Kenny, the goalkeeper. Clarkson scooping one up towards Curry. Decent touch off the chest. Immediately broken up though by Caligeru. Grozos, interesting ball, but Jack Kenny showed good command of his penalty area. Claims it right at the edge of the box, and he gets on with it. The quick throw to Paolo Mitri. Paolo Mitri, one of a few players playing against his former club this evening. There's a number of players that have played for both the Saints and City in recent years. Mitri's captain, Tarek Ercan, another one of those players. I'll rack my brain and think of who else this applies to over the course of this game. Caligiero, the quick feet. It's back to Rodic. Rodic forward, Monahan Vaika anticipating well. Now Mitri, under pressure from Pat O'Shea. So he goes backwards to the goal scorer, Matthew Karamolevsky. It's really interesting having had a look at Matthew Karamolevsky's attire. I'll hold that thought as Costa Petratos could be in here. Now, Costa Petratos committing the foul there on Mark Rodic. Matthew Karamolevsky, constitution similar to mine, although I can't shoot the ball anywhere near as well as he can. He's going for the short sleeves and gloves look this evening. Some people think that's a bit weird, but it makes sense to me. Your extremities get colder before the rest of your body, so I think it makes sense that you would need gloves. Gloves before you'd need long sleeves. Takes a deflection. Quilligan with the first time pass, looking for the overlapping runner on the far side. And instead, I think that was Ercan blocking the way to goal. Back he goes to Ercan. Now Monahan Vaika. Ball forward. That's Ortiz. He's got a supporting run. He doesn't feed that run. That was Mitri looking to break in behind the Saints defense. City throw-in coming up. Progress scores elsewhere. The Arctic Circle late stages. Northwest Sydney Spirits leading by 1-0 over the Western Sydney Wanderers Academy. I really hope the commentator for that game, the Adonis Will Gotsis, remember to dress warm, because there's a reason we call that venue the Arctic Circle. A flick on there from Quilligan, headed forward by Cameron Fong. Now it's Monahan Vaika with the header up and a bit backwards. Ercan forward to halfway. It's collected by Caligiero. Gets it back from Grozos, and Ercan breaks it up nicely. Clarkson, and then Mitri found Cox eventually, and now there might be space on the far side. It is Mitri. They double up on him. Danaskos and Sito. Mitri got past them anyway into the box, and if there had been a far post runner in that move for City, it would have been a tap in. Great skill from Paolo Mitri. He sent two defenders for a hot dog. A little shimmy. They were bypassed. Ball into a dangerous area. Great pace on the cross from Mitri. No one. Axford couldn't get a hand to it, but it has gone right across the face of goal. Karamolevsky back to the day job, so to speak, defending. Mitri. That's Presley Ortiz. Now Karamolevsky under pressure, but has the open player, who is Monahan Vaika. Now Lewis Curry. Cox back to Clarkson. Quick passing there from City just to buy them a little bit of time. Now Costa Petratos has beaten Rodic to the ball. How's the support? Trying the inventive back heel. I think Ortiz was the target. Saints clear, but there's a lot of City pressure here at the moment. 14 minutes into the game. If you've just joined us, Eric Subihano here on the mic from the Illingdon Sports Centre scaffold. It is City leading by 1-0 over the Saints, courtesy of a wonder goal from Matthew Karamolevsky. 25 yards, right up where the Spiders live. Souris falling backwards, but was still able to pass to Sito. Now Danaskos, a former St George City player, by the way. Decent ball, but Jack Kenny with the most confident of shouts. Defenders love that. Jack Kenny backing up the shout by claiming the ball easily. City just let that run out, so it will be a Saints throw. Quilligan trying to settle it, but there's not a lot of tough sledding so far up against two defenders. but has not been able to retain possession. Another game in progress. It's the 6:30 p.m. kickoff at Wynn Stadium down on the south coast. Approaching half-time there, it's 1-1 between Wollongong Wolves and Blacktown City. I was on the mic to see Blacktown City's win on Wednesday night against Manly United at Landon Stadium. Very so we say professional 2-0 win over Manly United, both goals coming in the first half. And, actually, further to my earlier point about live score apps not being 100% accurate. So my app says that former Blacktown City player Jake True is open to scoring for Wollongong Wolves. Yeah, okay, but we've got some disagreement. The app saying Grant Lynch equalised for Blacktown City. However, Blacktown City's Twitter account is saying Nick O'Brien scored. So I'm going with the Blacktown Twitter account. Nick O'Brien following in the footsteps of his brother Jack for at least this game. Jack doing well in the Golden Boot race as Presley Ortiz can't keep this one in. Jack O'Brien scored 16 times this season, including a goal on Wednesday night against Manly. Interesting battle between him and Alek Urashevsky, who of course as a Rockdale legend calls this stadium home as well. Urashevsky, Jack O'Brien. Let's see if anyone else gets in, can score enough goals to really involve themselves in the NPL Men's New South Wales Golden Boot race. St George City applying the press. They want to keep this early start going, but too much pressure, so to speak, from Dominic Cox, and Sam Kelly whistles for a free kick. There's also a 7 p.m. kickoff, just like this one, at Landon Stadium. It's currently 0-0 between Hills United and Sydney United 58. The other 3 NPL Men's New South Wales games for this round are tomorrow, as that's a nice switch to Danaskos. And Harry Jones in lots of space. He gets the ball, but then well closed down by Lewis Coury. Danaskos again, back to Cito. De Godoy. Now Rodic finding Calagero. Jones back to Rodic again, followed by the shouts for City to step up. Here's De Godoy towards Quilligan, but Quilligan is offside. Offside, he's been called for moving too early by Liam Smith, the assistant nearest to us. The other 3 NPL Men's New South Wales games for this round will be played tomorrow at 3 p.m. on this ground. It's Rockdale Illingdon versus Manly United. That'll be called by Tony Salerno. The other 3 p.m. kickoff for tomorrow is a battle of A-League academies. Central Coast Mariners versus Sydney FC, called by the voice of Central Coast football, Pete Pryor. That's up at Plume Park. And at 3:30 p.m. tomorrow, it's Derby d'Italia, RPL Leichhardt versus Marconi Stallions from Lambert Park. How good is it to see Lambert Park back in full operation and back hosting competitive games? And for RPL versus Marconi, keep an eye out for the match report from the young and very talented Jack George, as that's the furthest forward we've seen Cameron Fong in this game. Tried to play it into the mixer. The red jerseys get it away. Now Grozos gets away from Fong and finds Souris. Sam Kelly plays advantage as Souris finds room in the through ball. Karamalevsky opts for safety. It's better if you're of the Saints' persuasion. The counter-attack after City were pressing inside their own penalty area. Now they have a throw in an attacking position. I was thinking of Apia Marconi just for a second. They played not too long ago for a place in the Australia Cup round of 32. Apia won 2-1 after extra time. Great occasion at Lambert Park. As Peter Grozos wants a decision, which he won't get, and Lewis Coury clears. Calagero. Now, almost could have been an interesting one, because Calagero passed to Pat O'Shea with 3 City players in close proximity, but they get out of the tight spot. Now working the far side with Danaskos. Big overlapping run, and Karamalevsky tackles and plays it off Danaskos for the goal kick. But a tackle like that from Karamalevsky certainly won't discourage Troy Danaskos if you've ever seen him play, especially if you saw him play last week against Sydney FC when Danaskos scored for the Saints. Daneskos will be up and down that left side the whole game. He's really made it his trademark. Kenny goes long from the goal kick. Costa Petrados. It's up into the night sky from De Godoy. Could be awkward for Peter Grozos. Again, he doesn't get the decision from Sam Kelly. So Caligiero down the line. Nice touch off the chest from Monahan Vaika. Pat O'Shea. The tackle. De Godoy, back to Axford. Axford will find Daneskos in some space. There's a supporting run from Souris, so that's where the ball goes. Erchan's already across and sends that over the grandstand, and that's some St George FC volunteer will have to claim that from the car park between that building and West Botany Street. And that's gone out. There's the signal from Cameron Wright. There's a bounce, and Corey takes a collision, but on we go with Dominic Cox. Back to Cameron Fong. Fong looking for Costa Petrados. Petrados followed by De Godoy, and he took the ball out of play as well. De Godoy very confident with the ball across the byline, gets a little bit of congratulations from Mark Rodic. Once again, Axford aims for Daneskos. Axford, from memory, a left footer, so more natural for him to play to the left side of the field. Well, there we go, right on cue. He goes to the right side as Saint sees things. Rodic looking for options. Souris. Peter Grozos. Cox anticipated that well. Now it's Corey with options. Costa Petrados. Back to Corey. And Corey sent it just wide. And it was wide because I think Daniel... Well, surely that must mean that Daniel Axford saved, which makes it a brilliant save from the Saints keeper. Corner kick coming up. St George City's first corner of the evening, so like that, we've had a lot of action in the opening 23 minutes, but perhaps a little bit unusual with such a high-tempo game. It's taken until now for the first corner. And it's swung in, near post. And the touch there from Erchan, and nearly went all the way through. Erchan, a clever near-post run, which wasn't followed. Now, Peter Grozos couldn't dispossess Karamalevsky. It's a nice ball. Caligiero sends it up, but not maybe as forward as Saints would have wanted. Grozos. And Daneskos. That's just to give Saints breathing room. All back from the set piece, and no Saints player forward enough to challenge for that ball. And the Saints are now back into their shape. Everyone behind the ball. We start again with the City keeper, Jack Kenny. Touch off the chest from Petrados. Cox and Clarkson. Corey, now Cameron Fong. Ortiz, and a sliding tackle from Rodic. If you've ever seen Mark Rodic play, he's very much a sliding tackle expert. Very good at them. One of the best in the league, I'd say. There's Erchan, and he was trying to curl that into the path of Petrados. Right idea. Unfortunate for the city captain this time. It's gone out of play. That is Monahan Vaika sending it into the balcony of the clubhouse at the Element Sports Centre. Actually a decent place to watch football. I never had the chance to watch it there though. City win it off the Saints attacking throw. Corey, interesting ball which will stay in. And strong run there. Strong run there from Petrados, matched by the defensive recovery from Jaden Cito. That's a nice pass. Chance maybe for City. The cutback is sent. Did it go? It did not go over the byline. It's going to be a throw-in, which the goal scorer, Matthew Karamalevsky, will take. Now, initial throw-in defended. Now it's up for grabs as it falls out of the sky. And then I think Lewis Curry is going to be pinged for the late contact there. Saints, of course, they're behind. Now they want to get on with it. Caligiero. Back to Grossos. Goes back to Rodic. They'll try the other side. They go from right to left to the Saints. City maintaining their shape, being very difficult to play through. Takes a touch off Curry. Cameron Fong is forced backwards, and now Rodic, I think, is encouraging his teammates to step forward, but Monahan Vaiko, nice drop of the shoulder to get out of trouble. Now here's Curry. Ortiz is beaten to the punch, so to speak, by Rodic. He's got the touch of Ortiz as well. That will be a Saints throw-in. Perfect position for the photographer. Is that Football New South Wales photographer Brett Nielsen? Might be. Brett always does an excellent job in photography of the NPL Men's New South Wales competition and other Football New South Wales competitions. Saints on the move. Once again with Danaskos. As the tracking back is pass blocked by his former teammate, Paolo Mitri. Throw, encourages City to step up. Saints will try again, but Caligero's got a scramble here. And touch off nobody there. So it'll be a St. George City throw. Look at who's been banging in the goals this season for the Saints, and especially a bit more pertinent for them. Of course, they're now chasing the game. Well, Troy Danaskos spending a lot of time on the left side of the back four. Also, their top scorer with 5 goals for the season, as Grossos runs into a cul-de-sac full of players in white jerseys. And Urchan was taken out late by Peter Grossos. And that's the first yellow card of the game going to Peter Grossos. Now we're going to see the St. George City physio on, just to make sure that Tariq Urchan is okay. And he's a very tough character. It's very hard to take him out of the game. Urchan also very important to the way St. George City plays. Excellent in St. George City's League One, St. George City's promotion from League One Men's in 2022. This break, might utilize this break and play to go back to my other thought I had about St. George FC's or Saints top scorers. Yeah, Troy Danaskos has 5 for the season. He's Saints joint top scorer for the season with Nikola Škatarić, not in action this evening. And then Peter Grossos was the next high scorer for Saints with 4 for the season, including one very A very noteworthy goal at the Arctic Circle, an away game against Spirit, where he scored from near or almost inside his own half. Now applying that thinking to St George City, Presley Ortiz is their top scorer for the season, also with 5. Just behind him on the St George City top scorers list, with 4 goals, Jason Romero on the bench this evening, and Costa Petralos. Mitri has been pinged for a foul. Paolo Mitri is going to the notebook. So, well, they've got 1 yellow card each in a derby, so the officials will be doing the best they can. They'll do the best they can to keep a bunch of cool heads out there, and it'll make everyone's job easier, but that's easier said than done in a derby. Nah. Quilligan, the target once again. Interesting flick, and good to see Erchan back on the field. No long-lasting ill effects from that challenge. And St George City didn't have to be short-handed for any length of time as Cox runs down the left. Decent first touch from Costa Petrados to the byline. He stands it up, and Paolo Mitri flung himself at that cross. It was great work from Costa Petrados. Paolo Mitri nearly got on the end of it. Monahan Vaika, a pass that Curry lunged for but couldn't reach. Back with Monahan Vaika though. That's an interesting ball, and it will make its way via Calagera's left foot to Petrados. He has the support from Curry. That's where he goes to. So Curry gets it to the box. It's decent trickery, and ooh, all the way across the 6-yard box. No one applies the finishing touch. Touch off a Saints player, might even have been Daniel Axford. Long throw for City. Rodic heads it out of the box, and Damascus sends it up and towards halfway. Grozos has done well to win this throw. And the Saints inching closer and closer to that City penalty area. Now that touch again of City. Calagera take another throw in about 5 meters further forward of the first one. Not that far forward. Sam Kelly's noticed that. Here we go. All the options are short. And then Calagera's third throw in quick succession. Gets it back off Grozos. Then Calagera tried to loop it over Cameron Fong, but Cameron Fong defended it very well, and he's won the throw-in. By the way, I was talking earlier about trying to get clips of goals I'm calling up on socials. Yes, this is one for the St. George City faithful. That Matthew Karamalevsky goal It's already on the NPL New South Wales Facebook, Twitter and Instagram pages. Thanks once again to the Golden Greek, Mark Stavroulakis. As Grozos crosses right-footed, and the header loops up and onto the roof of the net. Jack Kenny, we think he had it covered, but still decent try there from the Saints number 10, Harry Jones, making a late run into the penalty area. Kenny waves everyone away, so he goes for distance. That's a lot of distance. Cox broken up, and now this might be a chance for Jones. He's got one option with him. Look at the white jersey streaming back. Here's Peter Grozos. The support's coming. In-swinger. Headed away by Monahan Vaika. And then Grozos beaten to it by Corey. When in doubt, throw it down the line. Gained a lot of meters just like that. Have City. A longish throw from Cameron Fong. Now off Petravis' chest. It's with Presley Ortiz. Work back to Fong. He crosses and the keeper's up, and it's straightforward for Axford. Caligiero running it down the line, and a decent run from Harry Jones, asking questions of the defence, will result in this throw-in. Caligiero's taken a lot of throw-ins recently. Cushion header for Pat O'Shea, and that makes its way through to Cito. Now Danaskos, support's already coming from Souris, who runs beyond Danaskos. That's where the ball goes. Back to Danaskos. Decent ball. Quilligan's attacking it. Great punch from Jack Kenny. That's a punch Katie Taylor would be proud of. So much distance. In fact, he reached one of his forwards, Presley Ortiz. Ortiz wasn't just to play it safe. And then he showed the ambition, but Grozos won that little battle and won the throw-in for the Saints. Oh, it's good when you set certain Twitter notifications. As you go around the grounds, there's been a goal at Wynn Stadium, but for who? Well, it's for the away side, Blacktown City. They've scored just after half-time thanks to TJ Burney. Blacktown City leading Wollongong Wolves by 2-1. Souris decides to go backwards as there was a couple of City players in close attendance. Now Rodic. Decador tries to switch. It's right on the money for Caligiero. Exchanges passes with Grozos. Caligiero again has a few options with him. Quilligan finding himself out wide. It deflects off Souris and goes straight to Jack Kenny. And Jack Kenny's going to just wait until he's pressured by a Saints player before picking up the ball. Approaching half-time here. If you've just joined us, it is St George City leading by a 0 over St George FC, courtesy of a goal, a long-range strike in the 4th minute from Matthew Karamalevsky. That went right into the top corner, left the Saints keeper Daniel Axford with no chance. I suppose you could go back on the YouTube stream if you've missed that goal and watch it for yourself, but here at Football New South Wales, we've done the hard work for you. We've already clipped it up for you, and it's on the NPL New South Wales Facebook, Twitter and Instagram pages, should you wish to take a look. Petrados trying to make things happen. And now that ball will end up as a goal kick. Calageru and the run from Quilligan. He's followed all the way by Monahan Vaika. And Quilligan. Decent cross, but excellent positioning from Tariq Ochan. He brings that under control. Now it's the Saints pressing high, trying to disrupt City's attempts to play the ball forward. Ortiz is quite deep. City look to secure possession. It's the longer pass. And the two defenders in the area take the ball off, or prevent Costa Petrados from gaining possession. Rodic goes back to Axford. Now Cito. No, sorry, that might have been Damascus, finding Souris, then Jones. Now, two Saints players in this area, and the City players slide across to defend. Calagera runs in beyond. Grozos was looking for a run inside the box. White jerseys in the way. Calageru, this time he's looking for Souris. It's marshaled by Fong, back to Kenny. Flick on from Jones, followed by another flick on from Quilligan. Saints trying to apply the pressure, trying to let it build, but it's been good defending from City, pretty much for the entirety of this first half. Jack Kenny hasn't had too much to do in the City goal. In fact, we're going to go back just to see. Sam Kelly was making sure Jaden Cito was okay. It's good to see the number 27 back on his feet. I was actually checking another player, but I think Kaya Degador is just tying his bootlaces. Yeah, he's okay. And he gets the ball. This is the puzzle facing the Saints. City have shown good organisation pretty much the whole season, especially in this game. Saints can still be patient. Plenty of time for them to get back into the contest. Thank you to that kind young ball kid. Playing it back, giving it back to Matthew Karamalevsky. We go on. Karamalevsky strong in the 50-50, and he'll try to go on with it. Couldn't quite make it stick. Monahan Baika is to be alert, but he has it under control. So they go back to Kenny. Saints looking to press high as Kenny goes towards halfway. Quilligan towards Grozos. Now Calageru as we enter the final minute of regulation time for the first half. Degador with the diagonal. Calageru looking for options. And Grozos is stopped by Fong. Goes back to the keeper again. Fourth official, Thomas Dale, preparing to signal how many minutes of time added on we will play before this first half concludes. Souris loses out to two City players. Dominic Cox finding Lewis Corey. Does he want to go from distance? Or run it in a bit closer and wait for the supporting run from Fong. I think Fong wanted it back. Corey instead just to keep it. And Thomas Dale signalling a minimum of 2 minutes time added on to end the first half. I think the officials sorting it out. At the end of all that, Saints throw. Rosas, close attention from three defenders. The three defenders win out his Fong. Costa Petranos did well to keep his feet. Back to Karamalevsky. Mitri. Finds Cox. Back to Karamalevsky. Will City try and work it for one last shooting opportunity before halftime? Cox into the middle. And that goes to Monahan Vaika. Centre back run from Monahan Vaika all the way to the edge of the box. And he wants to go on. Fong bounces it off Monahan Vaika. And that cross is headed away. Now, see, City wants shooting one more shot before halftime. They're going to have to hurry. Ortiz back to Cox. Now, Costa Petranos the target. Header from Karamalevsky. City still trying to pull the strings in the dying seconds of the opening period. Here's the cross. And that's cleared. That should be just about that. As Karamalevsky is pressed. And there's the whistle from Sam Kelly. The end of an entertaining opening 45 minutes in the second St George derby for 2024. And it's St George City leading St George FC by 1-0. The goal came in the 4th minute. A 25-yard bomb from Matthew Karamalevsky that went into the top corner. A very spectacular way to open the scoring. And that's how we got to where we are now as the teams head into the dressing sheds. This is Eric Subihano on the mic for the Football New South Wales YouTube page. Please stick around for the second half. We'll take a short break of about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll be back. Welcome back to the second half of our coverage from Illingdon Sports Centre. The St George Derby, currently going the way of City. And St George City leading by a 1-0 over St George FC by a spectacular early goal from Matthew Karamalevsky. That's already up on the NPL New South Wales socials. We encourage you to have a look at it if you haven't seen it, and if you have seen it, we encourage you to have a look at it again and boost our metrics. It's Eric Subihana here with the commentary from the Illingdon Sports Centre. And my first job to keep an eye on the fourth official, Thomas Dale. See if any subs have been made at half-time. It does not look like they have. So as the last set of coaches, including St George City head coach Jan Talchevsky, make their way to the technical areas. We'll be underway in just a moment. And then I'll remind you of the two sets of lineups out there. I think I've figured out the formations for both. I think. A little bit of housekeeping and games going on elsewhere from around the grounds. In NPL Men's New South Wales. Oh no, the board's coming up. So let's see. That looks like for St George FC. As the second half gets underway, number 10, Harry Jones, has been replaced by number 7, Jesse Spang. So that's good to see. That's confirmed by the PA on the right track. And Spang, well, he actually took the kickoff as well, but immediately into the action right in front of the grandstand. Attempted switch to Danaskos, left side of the box, and he shoots! And swings wide of the goal. A sign of early intent from the Saints as they try to level the scores. That was very similar to the position from which Troy Danaskos scored last week. St George FC played Sydney FC here, the Friday night game at the Illingdon Sports Centre. Now, well, that's been broken up. The Saints high press working out. Here's Quilligan to the far post, and Kenny is up and claims. But yes, games that have already been completed. So the 5 p.m. kickoff at Belmore Sports Grounds, a late equaliser from Sutherland Sharks. I think the captain, Mitch Stamatellis, from the spot. Means that finished Olympic 1, Sutherland 1. As Costa Petratos attempted the disguise pass, broken up by Caligeru, and that's a free kick. Also at the Arctic Circle, Northwest Sydney Spirit have defeated Western Sydney Wanderers by a 1-0. It's the 77th minute at Wynn Stadium, with Blacktown City leading 2-1 away to Wollongong Wolves. And it's half-time at Landon Stadium, and this is quite the shock. Hills United 2, Sydney United 58-0. Big 45 minutes coming up for the men of the Hills. Ortiz, target forward duties, and well, the red card's out. The red card's out. So Presley Ortiz, I think that's his game is done. And there's a lot of sorting out the officials to do. Presley Ortiz, a challenge that is very much not to Sam Kelly's liking. St George City now down to 10 players, with the majority of the second half still to play. Saints physio has been moved onto the field, has been called onto the field, and we could see quite a stoppage here. Physio still looking at Evangelosaurus. So will of course add to the stoppage time played at the end of the game. Now, the card was shown. Evangelosaurus can stay on the field if he wants to. I think that's what he's going to do. He's just going to hobble it off. This could completely change the complexion of this contest. City down to 10. It's going to require a reshuffle. And that defensive solidity that they showed in the first half. City were excellent without the ball in the opening 45 minutes. They'll need all of that if they're to win this derby contest. Especially with news of Sydney United, as that needed to be spotted from De Godoy and was. Cox can't reel it in. Calogero plays it forward, but especially with news of Sydney United, well, I think one place above St George City in 6th place. There is a 16 final series this year. It's all the more important from a City perspective that they work hard and hang on to the result they have. The Saints will be trying their hardest to make sure that doesn't happen. But it's City with an attacking throw-in. They've still got plenty of attacking talent out there despite the red card, so I wouldn't count out them having more chances, especially if the centre-backs like Monahan Vaika step forward from the back. Now, he's got to track back. Connor Quilligan looking for Danaskos. It's played forward by Ochan. Mitri uses his body well. Draws the foul from Sito. We restart with the diagonal from the City captain, Urchan. That's Petrados trying to shake off Calogero. So you still have Clarkson working it backwards. Now, there wasn't much forwards. The only thing to do is go back and start again. Possession, of course, ever more vital now for St George City. De Godoy, not quite the contact he wanted, but it does get to Sito. And back to get De Godoy. Danaskos. Now he tries to switch all the way to the other side. It's just over Petrados' head. Finds Calogero. At how City are setting up, and Tarek Urchan shouting out the instructions. Looks like, at least without the ball, I don't know if this makes sense, and apologies if it doesn't. It's like a 4-1-4-1, but without the one at the top. Karamalevsky using his ball striking skills to try and switch the play. Hasn't quite got the whip on it that he wanted. Petrados was interested, but Daniel Axford claims possession. It's been a goal at Wynn Stadium. Wollongong Wolves have equalised late on, so it's 2-2 between them and Blacktown City. So, as Calogero plays it forward, can he curl it round the corner? He does not. Fong gets a foot on it. Spang asks the questions with the off-the-ball run, and it will be a Saints throw-in. Goes back, so that will be to Rodich. I think you can expect the Saints centre-backs to get a lot of the ball. City will just concentrate on pressing the other players, like Danaskos here. Delivers right-footed, attempted flick, didn't really work out. I think it was Souris trying to get the touch on. Now Cox, there's no one furthest forward of him, but Dominic Cox, proper box-to-box midfielder. City will need all of that running. De Godoy, nice switch. Goes towards Calogero. Now Spang using his body. Grozos. De Godoy stepping forward into opposition territory. And Danaskos. So, like we might see a lot of this between now and the end of the game. Quilligan allowed to turn. Now he finds Danaskos. What are his options like? It's a flat ball. Decent clearance. Dominic Cox wins the free kick. So you're going to need a lot of that from players like Dominic Cox to relieve the pressure. lineups. Just a reminder of the two lineups out there for St George FC, the Saints. It is Daniel Axford in goal. Number 4 at the back, so that's from left to right. Number 27, Jaden Cito. Number 2, Kaio Degodoy. Number 18, Mark Rodic. And number 5, Nicholas Caligiru. The 3 in midfield. Number 6, Patrick O'Shea. Number 23, Evangelosaurus. And number 8, Connor Quilligan. The 3 in attack. It's this man. Number 7, Jesse Spang chasing the ball. He's flanked by number 3, Troy Danaskos on the left. And number 9, Peter Grozos, this man on the right. Actually, no, apologies. That's Peter Grozos in the orange boots. Zings it to Cito. Now, Danaskos. Saurus. Quick feet to keep it away from 3 defenders. Saints go left to right. City are picking the moments when to press, and they've done it well. So now Mitri, and Mitri was brought down by Patrick O'Shea. That's a yellow card. One of the substitutes is about to come up for St George City. Player has had to get the jersey on. Now my rather reckless guess is that Jason Romero is getting ready to enter the fray. At his best, Jason Romero can be like a one-man counter-attack, such as his skill on the ball. That's exactly what St George City need at this point, as the throw-in runs out of play. At the moment for City, their 10 players are lined up. The 10 players remaining on the field lined up like this, as I see things. So it would be number 1, Jack Kenny in goal. 4 at the back from left to right. That would be number 2, Cameron Fong. Number 4, Solomon John Monahan Waika. Number 6, the captain, Tarek Erchand. And number 99, the goal scorer for tonight, Matthew Karamilevsky. Looks like this does changes. City try to press. Number 25, Brody Clarkson. Appears to be the deepest of the bank of 5 in front of the 4 defenders. And then the 4 just in front of Clarkson as the flag goes up. On the left, number 11, Costa Petratos. Oh, sorry, on the flanks, number 11, Costa Petratos, and number 33, Lewis Curry. And more centrally, number 8, Dominic Cox, and number 14, Paolo Mitri. But having just figured out all that, then Lewis Curry gets substituted, so it'll probably change again. It's Jason Romero. 4 goals for the season. He spent time in the A-League. And scored a lot of goals in the second tier for both clubs. Actually, for both. He initially came to prominence in Football New South Wales competitions as a mid-season signing in 2018 for St George FC, helping them win the 2018 NPL 2 New South Wales Men's Championship, as the competition was then known. Of course, the second tier now known as League One Men's. And then, after I think some time away from the competitions, he came back with St George City, and he's continued to bang in the goals. He's also spent time at RPL Leichhardt. As Quilligan, it's too low, and Karamilevsky plays it up. So Romero, one of Romero's first tasks, battling for possession, wins a free kick. Romero uses his body well. That could be helpful because, of course, City's attacks now will need more time to develop, and he can be the player to bring teammates into play. Flying header from Petratos, but it goes out for a goal kick. I think Mirko Ural has switched things up a little bit. They almost look like they have a back 5 at times. As that is Monahan Waika winning the free kick. two teams have made one sub apiece. Kenny just goes long, wants to get it as far away from his goal as possible. Romero, can he make it stick? Not quite. So back to solving the puzzle for the Saints. City maintain that excellent defensive shape. De Godoy. Now it's Cito. Grozos drifting around trying to find whatever space he can. Danaskos has started the run. They keep it middle third. Souris across the Rodic. Now Spang. Spang is able to get on the half turn. Now he finds Connor Quilligan, edge of the box. It's Quilligan. Can't find Souris. It's cleared. Now Fong, he saw that pass coming. Nice interception. He's got Romero ahead of him, but Cameron Fong gets past two players. He might try and go all the way himself. And he's won a free kick. It's going to be another card. This card's going to go to Kaio De Godoy. Great initiative from the defender. Started on the left side of City's back line. Now he's been switched to the right. And it all began with that wonderful interception. Fong read the intentions. Romero had given him an option, but he had the confidence to back himself. He breezed past two players, put enough pressure on the Saints to draw the free kick. It's in a good position. Now, position like this, a couple of left, at least one left footer out there for City, which is Brody Clarkson, but it's Urchan and Romero, both right footers over the ball. Urchan leaves it for the number 10. Axford very particular with the positioning of the three-player wall. What does Romero do from here? Plays it to the far post. And on the edge of the box, here's Fong. He keeps it low. Great save. Who's got the rebound? It's in! It's in, and St George City, with 10 players, have doubled their lead. Cameron Fong, it might be Tarek Urchan. I'll have to take a look at that. And Cameron Fong, who won the free kick, when it was taken and cleared, Cameron Fong with excellent technique to keep the shot down. And forced a great save from Daniel Axford as the ball came through the crowd. And was that Tarek Urchan, the captain, who's followed in and made it 2-0. Well, there's plenty of work still to do for City. You can at least breathe a little sigh of relief thanks to that second goal. Here's the cross, and it's straight down Jack Kenny's throat. City, of course, they certainly won't want to park the bus here, so they'll try and press as high as they can off this Saints throw. A couple of headers. Clarkson looking for a teammate. Clarkson couldn't break that up. Fong's in there again. Then bodies hit the synthetic turf, and we'll go on. Going side to side again, but ball skips away from Grozos. It's covered, I think, by Monahan Baika. Run for Petrados now, for City. Romero. Romero, back onto the left foot. He delivers towards Petrados, who gets the flick. Danaskos has to clear. City working the other side. Fong plays the 1-2 with Cox. Fong, yep, he should keep that in play. He does. Cross is blocked at the near post by De Godoy. I'm trying to figure out who's... Apologies, I'm still trying to figure out, be 100% clear on who scored as Saints are getting ready to make their second sub, which would be Aidan O'Shea, the number 22. My eyes ain't what they used to be. I think it's Tarek Erchan. I think I'm right. Yeah, okay. I see a 6. Good camera work, Kate. Kate doing a much better job of tracking the City's second goal than I did. I think it's Tarek Erchan who scored. Now Grozos going sideways, wrote a couple of challenges. Danaskos, decent crossing position, but he'd moved too early. The flag is up for offside. So Aidan O'Shea, the hero from the first derby in 2024 between these two teams, in round 5 will not go on just yet. So George FC decided to hold fire on that one for the time being. Kenny, again, excellent distance on the kick out. Cito sending it towards midfield. Touch from Cox. Nice header from Mitri. Romero drifting out wide once again, trying the side nearest to us. And conceding the free kick. Now Aidan O'Shea will come on. Who's the player withdrawn? Looks like it's going to be number 9, Peter Grozos, replaced by number 22, Aidan O'Shea. The second Saints substitution. So for Saints, they've can make 3 more subs and they have 2 more windows. A reminder of the players still on the bench for Saints. Samuel Smith is the backup keeper. The other options: Thomas Brown, Alexander Malfara, and Anthony Morabito. While for City, they've got 2 more windows and for maximum of 4 more subs that they can make. And on the City bench, the backup keeper is Ryan Reid. The others are Nathan Roberts, Jesse Forti, Andrew Vlahadamis, and Noah Ovens. Now, Romero on the field almost, at least without the ball. St. George City now in a 5-3-1. Costa Petrados in a somewhat unusual for him, at least from thinking of every time I've seen him play. Costa Petrados kind of a left back or left wing back. And Cameron Fong performing a similar role on the other side. This formation allows them to have 3 very solid players in the center of defense for City, being Erchan, Monahan Baika, and Karamalevsky. 2 of them have scored, actually, by the way, so they're being more than just defenders this evening. Romero is the furthest forward, and the 3 between the defenders and Romero, let's see, well, process of elimination, who's left? It'd be Clarkson, Cox, and Mitri. But everyone back, well, everyone in the box except Romero from a City perspective for this set piece. The in-swingers coming up from the new man, Aidan O'Shea. And Fong, well, didn't get the clearance, not what he wanted. Sliced it. Corner kick coming up for the Saints. Now, by my very manual unofficial tally, that's the first St. George FC corner, or the first Saints corner of the game. 1 each, so we've only had 2 corners in. And now that we're midway through the second half. Delivery again near post, and Kenny doesn't get a hold of it. Souris, he shoots, and it's tipped wide by Kenny. You have to say that's a wonderful save. I'm pretty sure there's no, actually, well, you know what, let's give Jack Kenny credit for the save anyway, because pretty sure he didn't have a clean sight of it. The flag has gone up for offside in any case. The score stays at 2-0 to City. Meanwhile, on the City bench, Noah Ovens has the bib off, so it looks like he's doing his final warm-ups before he's the next one to enter the fray. Degador's header. And the clearance from Sito. Monahan Vaika. Going on another run, another adventure from centre-back. Because the other two centre-backs have scored, so that might make him even more keen to score. That's an unfortunate one there. Ball just running away, and it's a goal kick. Daniel Axford getting on with it. Time very much the enemy now for the Saints. Sito gets forward, and then that will be marshalled by Urchan, and it goes out. Let's go. Curious, let's go around the ground. So it's finished 2-2 at Wynn Stadium between Wollongong and Blacktown. It's also 2-2 at Landon Stadium, so there's a comeback from Sydney United against Hills United. And roughly 20 minutes to go in that one at Landon Stadium, just like in this game here. As I see Brett Nielsen is moving around the field and continuing to take what will no doubt be excellent photographs for the Football New South Wales socials. Monahan Vaika took the initiative, stepped in there, won a free kick. It's good to look ahead at what's coming up for these two teams. For the Saints, it's 8 days time, my apologies. Sunday 23rd, an away trip to Sydney United 58. And then another away trip, Saturday 29th to RPL Leichhardt. No easy games in this competition, that's for sure. Free kick swung in, and attacking it was Urchan, wanting to score a second goal. Touch off the Saints. Corner coming up. So look at City's next two fixtures. City are back at Penshurst Park on Saturday the 22nd, to face Northwest Sydney Spirit. And then on Saturday the 29th, it'll be a tale of two cities at Landon Stadium. Blacktown City versus St George City. Two teams with great expectations, I'm sure. Mitri's corner. And it was Costa Petrados rising highest. Goes wide, header goes wide. Good jump though from Petrados. Now the ball, Aidan O'Shea interested, Monahan Vaika. Excellent use of the body. Never met a central defender who didn't like shepherding the ball out for a goal kick. Perfect example of that art there from Monahan Vaika. Kenny bombs it off the goal kick. Couldn't find a teammate, but given the game situation, not sure City mind that much. Looking to see out the 2-goal lead, get back into the winner's circle. Can Saints change this? We see a lot of late drama in this competition. St George FC cracked the code. City have done excellently in a defensive sense, especially after going down to 10 players. As this cross comes in, Kenny catches it, sticky gloves, and then falls on the ball just to make sure. Another bomb from Kenny, just for distance. And the Saints will try again. Up against the corner flag, and that's the Saints throw. Will they try the long throw or keep it short? Go back, that allows the City to step up, but the pressure's relentless now. It has to be from the Saints. Calageru swings it in. Souris is up there, and then Danaskos trying to get the late run to the far post as well. Neither make contact. So Fong, as the drizzle starts to fall. Sure, City will just try and manage the tempo wherever they can, but it's the Saints trying to speed things up. Sito. Quilligan goes back to Degadoy. Calagero, another cross. Brought down by Spang, or he tried to. He's outnumbered by the City defenders. There's going to be a clearance. Cox putting pressure on his fellow number 8, Connor Quilligan. It's shuffled left to Danaskos. He then wins the throw of Dominic Cox. Actually, my apologies. I thought Noah Evans was going to come on soon because he had the bib. I think he's actually just put it on now, so he may still be the next player to come on for St. George City, but Noah Evans don't think he's going to come on soon or in the next couple of minutes. Saints try again. Neat run from Aidan O'Shea, trying to get between defenders. Matthew Karamalevsky tracked it all the way. The man who opened the scoring tonight with excellent defending inside his own penalty area. He had to be spot on, and he was. He was as spot on as he was when he scored the opening goal. Now, neat exchange of passes, Romero and Cox. Cross from Romero and off Axford's gloves. And then he snaffles up the rebound before a City player can pounce. Spang back to goal. Goes back to Rodic. Another cross from Calagero, and Spang tried to take it off the touch. Sorry, take the touch off the chest, my apologies. And that gave the defenders just enough time to clear the danger. And was that Paolo Mitro? Paolo Mitri, I think, won the free kick. I think I just about heard Jack Kenny say, "Bravo, Paolo," so I think that was Mitri who won the free kick then. Makes sense. It's the only Paolo involved in the match this evening. Instead, well, the tablet's out. A Saints player is getting some instructions, so we may see Saints. We might see Jane Talchevsky make the next roll of the dice. Well, now, indeed, it is actually. Turns out I was wrong. Noah Ovens is going to come on after all, and Thomas Dale, the fourth official, is getting the board ready. So, yes. With a name like Noah Ovens, you sure hope he's warmed up properly. You need to on a night like tonight. Urchan, clean tackle. And, yep, that's the opportunity Mirko Ural was waiting for. Noah Ovens will be replacing Solomon John Monahan Vaika. Saw a 4, sure saw a 4. Yeah, there he is. There's Monahan Vaika making his way off the field. Evangelosaurus is the player that's come off for St. George FC. He's replaced by number 14, Alex Malfara. So that appears to be a straight swap, midfielder for midfielder. And in fact, City have also made a straight swap. Noah Ovens has slotted into central defence alongside Tarek Urchan and Matthew Karamalevsky. A little step over from Petrados, drew the challenge. Oh wait, sorry, tempted the challenge and then he won the free kick. That's like really smart, especially from a game management sense. We're into the final 10 minutes of regulation. With St. George City trying to see out what would be an excellent result for them this evening. There's no such thing as a bad derby win, to be honest. The rain starts to get heavier as well. Spang with the header. He's outnumbered Karamalevsky. He finds, I think that's Mitri. Mitri looking for Petrados. Cannot do so. It's broken up. And if you missed any of the action, of course, you can go back on the YouTube stream and see what you've missed. But two main involvements, of course, the 2 goals that City have scored. It was Matthew Karamalevsky with a stunner in the 4th minute. And Tarek Urchan scoring just after the hour mark to make it 2-0. City also suffering an unfortunate red card to Presley Ortiz early in the second half, but still defending well, still leading by 2-0. And now it's Dominic Cox leading the attack for the visitors. The cross is up, and that's Petrados had run to a different part of the penalty area. Axford runs to the edge of his box and gathers the ball. No, my notes are getting wet. I can't have that happen. Quilligan forward to Danaskos. Danaskos slowed down by Fong. That's Thickadoy once again. That's been the pattern of most of the second half. Well, at least after the red card, as Danaskos attacks that. Ovens breaking it up. Spang with a shot that loops nicely for Jack Kenny. And in fact, he's going to wait until he's pressured before picking up the ball. The City shot stopper clearly in game management mode. Runs down a few more seconds. And there's that pattern once again. The central defenders, as Kenny goes long, the central defenders for Saints, Degodoy and Rodic, which pretty much allowed to have the ball. City doing excellently to press when one of the other Saints players has it. Now, going to have another stoppage. I've just cramped from one of the City players. Apologies, I did not see who it was. Meanwhile, possibly off frame, number 17, Thomas Brown, getting ready to come on for Saints. Now, he's quite tall. I wonder if they're just going to put him up front and start chucking balls into the mixer. Jaden Cito is going to be replaced so that Thomas Brown can come on. Oh no, but Thomas Brown will go to the position I've seen him. He's the position he's occupied when I've seen him play previously. That's central defence. Eased off slightly. I'd love it to go away completely. We've had enough rain for one fortnight. Mitri who was cramping, so now of course he'll have to be off the field for a brief moment, but it shouldn't be too long, and City would hope it's not too long, because at least for now, as of this very moment, City down to 9 players, but they have the throw in. Let's see. Romero almost by himself. The red jerseys win out. And Parliamentary back on. So we're back to 11v10. Here's Degodoy. Rodic. Now is Malfara trying to find a pocket of space, but the Cox and Ovens just pounced upon that immediately. Degodoy across to Rodic. Again, they squeeze the space right in front of their back four. City maintaining that discipline. Now, we're going to prepare another substitution, as that's the touch off Malfara. Kenny takes the ball, and as keepers are doing, as keepers tend to do when the teams are trying to see out the game, he immediately goes to the turf. Jesse Forty, I can see off frame, number 19. He'll be the next player on for St. George City. In fact, I think that would mean if he's the this will be the last window that St. George City can use when 40 comes on. So let's see if anyone else comes on with him for the final couple of minutes. Parliamentary again doing excellently and maintaining persistence to win a free kick. Sometimes it's the little things that matter. Actions like that just help to relieve the pressure when your team has the lead. And Quilligan and almost snaffled up by City, and they still have the ball. Cox on the turn towards Fong. Fong. Cox. And now Cox might get it back. Can he find space for the shot? He's still got it, and he shoots. It's saved. Great save by Daniel Axford. Dominic Cox didn't give up on it. Able to get a shot away, which had Daniel Axford at full stretch. Now here's Romero. Skips past the tackle. Will have to do so again. Was that a nutmeg? I think it was. Romero still going, trying to go all the way himself. And it's deflected wide. That's going to be a City corner. One of those ones, depending on where you are in the venue. For a moment it looked like it'd gone in, but of course the St. George City body language was not consistent with them, with Jason Romero scoring a great individual effort. The shortest of short corners, and if they had their way, City would just keep it here until the final whistle. Costa Petralis going backwards, but still keeping the ball. Into the 88th minute here at Illington Sports Centre. City leading by 2-0. Clarkson. The ball stays in just about. Now, that's shepherding there. Good shepherding from Thomas Brown. Perhaps this will be a good company man. I'll talk about streams coming up. We've done all the men's games tomorrow, so of course, as is always the case on the Football New South Wales YouTube page, we've got every game from the NPL Women's New South Wales competition available live for you and free, same way you're watching this game on the Football New South Wales YouTube page. Caligieri crosses, Kenny's up, it's a good catch. But yes, the women's action starts tomorrow at 4:40 p.m. from the incredibly cold Northbridge Oval. The Bulls FC Academy hosts the University of New South Wales, and the Professor, Melissa Muscat, will be on the mic there. I hope she brings warm clothing. There's 4 women's games at 5 p.m. tomorrow. There's a big game, assuming this goes ahead and doesn't get washed out. It's a big game at Petermore Field between Sydney Olympic and RPL Leichhardt, as Daniel Axford has some sweeper-keeper adventures. But yes, Sydney Olympic versus RPL Leichhardt, called by brilliant young commentator William Constantinidis. Also at Cromer Park, Manly United versus Northern Tigers. At Linwood Park, it's Macarthur Rams versus Football New South Wales Institute. Those last 3 are all 5 p.m. games tomorrow. Also at 5 p.m. tomorrow, for a game that's been moved to the synthetic field at Valentine Sports Park, field number 3, Sydney University versus Northwest Sydney Spirit. That game is called by Annabelle Banfield, another great addition to our commentary team, as Jesse Forti is going to come on and Parliamentary is going to jog off near the grandstand side of the field. So that's 3 subs and all 3 windows used for City. Jesse Forti, pretty quick player, so just Mirko Ural opting for fresh legs in the dying stages. So what was I? Ah, yes, and the the final women's game to be played at 5 p.m. tomorrow from Blacktown Football Park. Blacktown Spartans versus Emerging Jets. That'll be called by the People's Champion, Nicholas Kutniak. Kalajero crosses, and Malfara was interested in it, but City stand firm once again. Costa Petrados, he thought about running it out, and instead he takes the safer option, plays it over the sideline near halfway. And the latest of the women's games tomorrow is at the very strange kickoff time of 5:10 p.m. It's at the Arctic Circle, and it's the women's match of the round. Gladesville Ravens hosting Illawarra Stingrays, and because it's a women's match of the round, if you watch that, you'll enjoy the dulcet tones of the Serbian Martin Tyler, Nikola Pozdev. Danaskos crosses, Spang, it goes over him. Petrados clears. Now, I'll just hold that thought. Degodoy goes across the field to play. Outside of the boot from Kalajeru. Good header from Karamlevsky, and then the shot. Two strong hands. I think it might have been Aidan O'Shea, who then crosses, and it goes way over the crossbar. I think it was Aidan O'Shea who drew a very good save from Jack Kenny. Now, if you're a fan of my commentary, and there's got to be at least one of you out there, as Thomas Dale signals a minimum of 4 minutes time added on, I've got the women's second-tier match of the round tomorrow, the League One women's match of the round from Harry Denning Centre. 3:30 p.m. tomorrow, Sutherland Strikers featuring their new star signing Tori Tumith up against the League One women's leaders Hills United. So Sarah Easthope and the gang travelling from the west to Sutherland Shire to try and keep their winning run going and stay top of the table. It's a very heated title race in the women's second tier, and the battle for promotion to NPL women's is going to be very interesting over the remainder of the season. And I know I do have a few fans out there, and sure, if you're a fan of mine, you'll make sure you tune in tomorrow, because you know exactly why that's going to be a fun one to watch. Now, Malfara couldn't reel it in, and Romero, now Cox, one more run from one of the most energetic midfielders in the competition, and he's won a throw-in. Played up down the line. Ovens just stopping Spang from doing anything with possession. Now that bounces for Romero, and he's got at least one runner. It's the new man, Jesse Forty. Brings Cameron Fong into play. Good target forward play from Romero. Cox finds Fong, and Fong, well, I think he's seen the corner flag. He thinks that's the place to be at this time of the game. He's won the throw-in. This laptop can't get too wet. You better make sure of that one. Romero also deciding the corner flag's the place to be. And City almost on the way to a derby victory and 3 valuable points that will keep them very much in the NPL Men's New South Wales finals race. Malfara, it's a second go at playing it forward. Here's Oven, so he might get a second go at heading it. Forward from Danaskos. It's going to bounce. Well, it won't bounce. O'Shea got the first touch. Petrados once again. Now that after the red card, he switched into this kind of defensive role on the left-hand side, while still providing attacking impetus. Costa Petrados has done very well this evening. A different role to what we usually see him play on the football field. Romero chasing. And now putting the pressure on Rodic. City break that up. How much ambition do they have? Well, they tried to find Romero. I think it was Clarkson looking for the killer pass. Saints one more chance, and we've already had 3 minutes and 15 seconds roughly time added on. Step over from Malfara. Spang draws the foul off Ovens, so it's pretty much now or never. I think it's everyone back for City as Danaskos swings it in, and good punch, another good punch from Jack Kenny. Back to Danaskos. He's fouled by Romero, and this will be about the last play of the game, I think. Despite Saints get on with it. Another outswinger, and the header goes wide. There's a glance at the watch. I think that's going to be that. There it is. It's victory in the St. George derby for St. George City. They defeated St. George FC by 2-0. A goal in each half has given them 3 valuable points. City opened the scoring in the 4th minute with a brilliant goal, a wonder goal from Matthew Karamalevsky. That's on the NPL New South Wales socials and well worth taking a look at. And a red card early in the second half to Presley Ortiz didn't hurt their chances of victory in the end. Tarek Erchan scoring City's 2nd goal just after the hour mark, pouncing on a loose ball, and that's how we got to where we are. The final score of St. George FC 0, St. George City 2. One last reminder of the men's games coming up tomorrow on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. 2 games at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Firstly, on this very ground, it's Rockdale Illingdon versus Manly United, called by the best Tony in our commentary team, Tony Salerno. Also 3 p.m. tomorrow, Central Coast Mariners versus Sydney FC from Plume Park, called by the voice of Central Coast football, Pete Pryor. And then at 3:30 p.m, it's the Derby d'Italia from Lambert Park, RPL Leichhardt versus Marconi Stallions. But this is Eric Subihano signing off from Illingdon Sports Centre. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage of the St. George Derby, and we hope to see you soon. Most importantly, we hope you stay warm, take care, have plenty of good vibes, great coffee, sick tattoos, razzlers, and may your team establish local bragging rights whenever they can. See you next time.